Fueled by resentment, Henry vowed to sue Nora, dismissing Wendy's practical concerns. Inside, Melissa worried about Henry's volatility, while she and Simon pitied Nora, believing she hid her distress. The next morning, a reporter arrived, stating Henry contacted them, claiming Nora refused to speak with him. The public exposure ignited Nora's anger, but she resolved to control the narrative and protect her children. How far would Henry go? What would the public think? And how could Nora win this unwanted war? Just as I reached the bottom of the stairs, the cacophony of voices hit me like a physical blow. Simon's incredulous tone, Melissa's furious retorts, and then that oily voice of Henry's, dripping with self-pity and blatant lies. It was a circus, and our front lawn was the center ring. I stifled a yawn, the lack of sleep finally catching up with me. "Don't be angry, Grandma," I said, my voice calm, a stark contrast to the turmoil erupting around us. So, Henry had decided to take our family drama public. How utterly predictable. Simon's voice, tight with disbelief, cut through the air. "Facilitate a discussion? By barging into our home with cameras and microphones? You're harassing us!" The reporter Roxanne, her voice smooth and practiced, remained unfazed. "Don't be so dramatic, sir. This is a live broadcast. The more agitated you become, the more it will appear that you're in the wrong. Let's all take a deep breath and try to explain what's really happening. You're family, after all. There's no such thing as a family feud too big to be resolved." Melissa's lips curled in disgust. "We don't need your help resolving anything." Roxanne, her gaze unwavering, finally addressed the core issue. "I understand your reluctance, but I need to speak with Miss Smith directly. May I know where she is?" Then, Henry's voice, amplified by a microphone, boomed through the air, laced with a theatrical indignation that made my stomach churn. "She's probably still asleep. That daughter of mine has never been one for hard work. She never gets out of bed before noon. She doesn't lift a finger to help anyone, and she certainly doesn't care about her own child. She just lets everyone else do all the work." Melissa's face flushed a dangerous shade of red. "That's a blatant lie. Nora works tirelessly to provide for her children. She had serious health complications after giving birth and needs more rest than other people. And she has never asked us for a dime. She earns her own living." Wendy, her voice dripping with a false sympathy that did nothing to mask the underlying malice, chimed in, her words aimed directly at the camera. "Oh dear, you didn't know? Her only source of income is that small failing company that her mother owned before she died, Melissa. It barely generates a few $1,000s in dividends each month." Melissa was about to unleash a furious retort, when Henry, sensing a shift in the public sentiment, held up his hands in a gesture of mock appeasement, his eyes wide and seemingly sincere for the camera. Now, let's all calm down. I'm not here to fight. I'm just here for my child today. I'm not trying to take her away from you, but I'm still her father. How can you justify keeping her from contacting me? We're family. Blood is thicker than water." His eyes reddened with forced emotion, his voice trembling with a carefully crafted vulnerability. Even to my jaded eyes, Henry's performance was sickeningly effective. He had that earnest, seemingly honest look that some people inexplicably found trustworthy. I could practically see the comments section of the live stream lighting up with sympathy for the poor, wronged father. Then, Wendy decided to escalate, her voice taking on a tone of wounded maternal concern. "The one time I failed to keep an eye on Nora, she went out and cheated on her fiancé. Then she became pregnant. She insisted on keeping that child, even though we told her we would help her find other options." Roxanne, ever the opportunist, seized on the juicy tidbit. "Why didn't the two of you want her to keep the child?" Wendy's reply was swift and carefully rehearsed. "The child's father is practically a criminal. He wouldn't do the honorable thing. He didn't even try to ask to be her husband and take responsibility. Nora was only 19 years old at that time, so of course we did everything with her interests in mind. That's why she distanced herself from us. She insisted on giving birth and moving abroad. We continued to support her financially. We know that she doesn't like living with us, but we sent her money every month. But Mrs. Anderson, anyone who has family, and anyone who has a daughter, would know that we made the right decision. How can you use that to come between us?" Melissa crossed her arms over her chest, her hands shaking with barely contained fury. Grandma, her face etched with a cold rage, gripped her walking stick so tightly her knuckles were white. "He brought a live broadcast to our doorstep," Grandma thought, her eyes blazing. "He's trying to humiliate us, to manipulate public opinion." She slammed her walking stick against the polished floor several times, the sharp cracks echoing through the tense air. It was a clear signal, a silent demand for action. I stifled another yawn, my gaze settling on the camera, on the red light that indicated we were live. It was time for my close-up. Was I ready to reveal so much? To lay bare the scars of my past? What would be the cost of this public confrontation? And could I truly win against their practiced manipulation, the relentless need for control? The red light of the camera stared back at me, a silent demand. What would I say? What would I do? And what would be the devastating fallout?
Hi, Nora here. If you are wondering what happens next, then download the Pocket FM app and listen to the exciting episodes of Saving Nora Now with the link in the description.